I'm Jackson.
And I'm Dylan.
And this is Wacky News.
Welcome to Wacky News. My name is Dylan. This is a podcast for kids, about kids, and presented to you by kids. My brother Jackson and I will share neat stories every week for you to discuss with your friends on the school bus, during lunch, or whenever you want.
Hi guys, happy Halloween. Dylan and I can't wait to go trick-or-treating tonight and get lots of candy.
We just want to remind all of you to be safe tonight. Some of us are still pretty small, and it will be hard for cars to see us tonight as it gets darker.
That's right. Talk to the adults in your life and make sure you are wearing a glow stick or reflective strips on your costumes.
And always make sure you stay with your trick-or-treating group so you don't get lost or worry your friends.
Wacky News Machine, what are you going to be for Halloween?
My name is Siri.
That's really clever, Wacky News Machine. You make a good Siri.
So originally, our plan today was to find some cool Halloween news, but the Wacky News Machine, or Siri, is saying that it has found something even better for us.
Here's what I found.
Thanks, Siri. Nik Runs the World. Jackson, you know how you were training to run that 5K turkey trot with Mommy?
Yeah, turkey trot runs take place all over the United States on Thanksgiving. And I am looking forward to running my first one with Mom. A 5K is a race that is a little over 3 miles long. Mom is one of the most amazing runners I have ever seen, and wait a minute. Who wrote this dialogue? Mom?
Doesn't matter who wrote it, Jax. Just stick to the script, okay? You haven't gotten to the part about how talented I am and how lucky you are to have me as your mom.
In the interest of good journalism, Mother, we are going to skip ahead to the main story.
Nice try, Mommy. Anyway, Jackson, races come in all different lengths. There are 1-mile fun runs, 3-mile 5Ks, 13-mile half marathons, 100-plus mile ultra marathons.
Like the one little Gobi, the puppy, ran last month when we covered that story.
And then there's the 26.2-mile-long marathon.
Marathons are the goal for many runners to achieve at least once in their lifetime. It takes a lot of training and hard work.
In addition to how long it takes to train for a marathon, the running of one takes a lot of time too. The average time it takes for an adult to complete a marathon is just over 4 hours.
That is a lot of running.
It sure is, and that's why it's considered a major accomplishment for an adult to complete one, not to mention more than one. And that is what makes this story so special. Yesterday, Nikolas Toocheck was one of nearly 30,000 people who participated in the 41st Marine Corps Marathon in Washington, D.C. This was his 50th marathon, and he's only 13 years old.
Did I hear that right? A 13-year-old has run 50 marathons?
You did hear that right. He was the youngest runner at the marathon this weekend, completing it in a respectable 6 hours and 3 minutes, which is pretty amazing to begin with. Nikolas describes himself as being a highly spirited, passionate, adventurous, bright, and happy kid who puts 100% into all things physical. He discovered his love for running when he began to run with his dad, who's an eye doctor and is his greatest inspiration. You know that 5K you are training for now, Jackson, at 10 years old? Nik ran his first 5K when he was only 5 years old, although a lot of that was on his dad's shoulders. At age 6, he ran his first race completely on his own, and things took off from there. When he was 9 years old, Nik ran his first marathon with his dad. The two of them started running marathons in all different countries while helping to raise over $42,000 to help children get jackets to stay warm. By the time he turned 11 years old, he had run marathons in all 7 continents.
Yay!
Wow, where do you go from there? When you achieve something so impressive at such a young age?
Nik asked himself that same question. Because of his dad being an eye doctor and exposing Nik to a lot of the issues that face kids with vision problems, Nik had found his new calling, using his talents as a runner to help children in need get their sight back. According to a news release, around 500,000 children become blind each year, but 80% of blindness and low vision issues can be prevented or cured with access to proper eye care. Nik's hope is to raise money to support SIVA's pediatric programs by running a marathon in each of America's 50 states.
We will provide a link to the SIVA Foundation in our show notes, as well as a link to Nik's own website for his campaign, Running the World for Children, stateside. How many states has Nikolas run so far? When does he expect to hit all 50?
Nikolas has run in 42 states at this point and is planning to complete his goal next July when he runs a marathon in San Francisco.
The Wacky News Machine was right about this being a great story.
My name is Siri.
That's right. Way to stay in character.
This is another great example of how kids can do what they love and make a huge difference in the world. We hope you check out the Wacky News show notes at podcastplayground.com to read more about Nik and his dad and find your own inspiration.
Speaking of helping kids in need, let's talk a little bit about our sponsor, Dylan.
Music for More is a really great charity organization that launched in 2009 with the goal of helping schools that don't have enough money or instruments to offer students a music program.
It's hard to believe that some schools don't even have music programs at all. Studies have proven that music helps kids in so many ways.
Those ways include being more engaged in school, developing creativity, better SAT scores, increased coordination, and so much more.
Music for More collects donated instruments from musicians and gives them to schools in need. They also hold a lot of special events like concerts and things to raise money for schools to improve their music programs.
For more information, go to music4more.com. That's musicformore.com using just the number 4, not spelling it out.
And now it's time for Wacky Jokes! What kind of shoes are made from banana skins? Slippers.
What do runners do when they forget something? They jog their memory.
What did the barber do to win the race? He took a shortcut.
Did you hear about the marathon runner who ran for 3 hours but only moved 2 feet? He only had 2 feet.
What does a runner drink when he is in last place? Ketchup.
Why can't you take a nap during a race? Because if you snooze, you lose.
And that concludes episode 25, guys. Thank you so much for downloading and listening to our show and helping us reach our goal of sharing kid-focused news all around the world.
If you like what you hear, don't keep us a secret. Tell your teachers and friends to go to podcastplayground.com to check us out.
And also subscribe to Toothy Trivia while you're there. No more rushing or bushing. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day, and we will be back on Wednesday with episode 26.
Bye.